Hi and welcome back to Tech It Out. In the first part of the Google Pixel series we looked at the unboxing and everything that came with the Pixel, and in the second part we're going to look at the initial setup, putting the settings in and preparing it for use. But just before we do that, I thought I'd give you a little comparison of the Pixel to my Note 5. Let's just straighten up the box there, otherwise my OCD will take over. And as you can see, the two phones are virtually exactly the same size, almost the same width, height and thickness. The Pixel does have slightly larger side bezels, and the top and bottom bezels are a little thicker as well. And of course it doesn't have the home button. The home button, of course, on the Samsung being also the fingerprint reader. But apart from that, they're almost identical in size, and the Samsung's just a touch heavier, I think, but not much in that either, in the hand. The other phone I have here is my old Sony Xperia Z3. Again, you can see the two phones are very much similar in size, with the Pixel just being a little bit bigger than the old Xperia. Thickness wise, again, almost exactly the same. So that said, then let's get on with the setting up of the phone and preparing it for use. The first thing that you've shown here is the Let's Go screen, but don't jump into it just yet, because the first thing you need to do is to set the language. It's currently on United States, but as I'm in the United Kingdom, I need to change that to English United Kingdom. Otherwise, when you come to things like the spell checkers and so on, it'll be telling you that you've incorrectly spelled the word colour with a U, which is how it's supposed to be, whereas the Americans of course don't use the U, and so on and so forth with many others. You can adjust the visual settings as well if you are slightly visually impaired, or if you're setting it up for somebody who is further visually impaired. I keep touching the bottom bezel because I'm so used to my Note 5 having the buttons there. So next thing then, we press the Let's Go. Insert SIM card. Well, I'm going to skip that because I'm not going to put my SIM card in yet. I don't want to copy data over to the phone because I wanted a fresh setup. So setup as new, and now it's looking for the Wi-Fi. And it's found it. I'm going to choose the AC Wi-Fi, and I'm just going to move out the screen so I can put in my passcode, and then we'll carry on. And it's picked it up straight away, obtaining the IP address. Now let's check if it updates. Now this camera keeps going out of focus. I'm going to try and focus again. So it's nearly there. And now we come to the sign-in page. I'll use my email. gadgetpriest@gmail.com. Click next, and of course now I have to put my password, so again I'll just move out the screen. Agree to the terms of service. Now it's getting everything ready. Sends a little notification to my Gmail account to say that a new device has been logged in. Next part is to add the fingerprint for the unlock-in. I do fingerprint and pattern. So once again, I'm going to move out the screen for a moment. And now we actually input the fingerprint information. The fingerprint sensor, of course, on this phone is on the back, whereas on the Note it's on the home button, as I mentioned. So click next. Now when you do this, always make sure that you move your finger around to different positions and different parts of your finger until it says you're completed. You can further train this in the settings later on, and you can add extra fingers as well. So now we come up to backup. Well, I don't need to back up anything because it's a fresh install, so I'll turn that off at the moment. Then we got some options. Location services, improve location accuracy. I want those two left on. Don't need to free up space because it's the 128GB version. Wouldn't let me turn off there for a moment. So allow Google live wallpapers. Well, I've got my own live wallpaper. Help improve data. I'll do that later. And then turn off that free up space when your data storage is almost full. With 128GB plus free cloud storage. I don't think that's going to happen somehow. So that's all done. Click next. How can I help? Meet your personal Google Assistant. This is new in the Pixel, the Google Assistant. It's an upgrade really, or a follow-on from Google Now and the Allo app, and integrates the Allo app and other apps into all one system, whereby it uses AI and it learns as you train it and as you talk to it to interact with you. So we're going to set that up as well. I want the web app activity, location history and device information all left on because I want the full services that I can get. I know a lot of people are worried about these things, but I'm not worried whatsoever. I want to get the best use that I can out of them. I leave it on, and it's an exchange with Google for such a good service. Next then, teach the assistant to recognize your voice. Get started. OK Google. OK Google. OK Google. And again, different voice levels, different speeds, so that it trains it properly. Just going to confirm my pattern. And then we're on to the next screen. We've got some extra apps we can review. Control lock screen notifications, so I'll just go into there. They're all okay, I don't need any more of those. Control lock screen. And we've jumped back there a moment, so let's go back to where I was. Continue. You've already trained. Lock screen. Hide sensitive notification content. Well, I'm going to do that because I don't want my emails and texts appearing on the screen where anybody can see them. Everything else all set. So it's now finishing off the install process. It'll check for updates and download them as necessary. There's a few apps there that it's updating already, including Google Now. While it's doing that then, we can go into the Play Store. My apps, and check to see if there's any other apps that need updating. There are a few there, so I'll click Update All, and it'll carry on updating those apps as well. So now the apps are being updated. We've got that warning message from Google that a new device has been added to my account. Move that out of the way, and the setup is complete. Now if we go into the settings, as you can see, you've got the usual menus there with the quick toggles and so on. But I just want to go into the settings at the moment. They're all very familiar to anybody who's used Android before, all straightforward. And you can just scroll down. There are one or two new options on here which we'll go into in more detail in the review. So we look at the About Phone page and we can see, hopefully it's in focus enough for you to see that it is running Android 7.1, which is what it ships with. The new Nexus 7.1 update I believe went out today as well. So most of the Nexus phones will be being updated as we speak. So that's everything just about ready now. Long press the home screen and you get the widgets and so on in your settings. Again, you can go into your settings. I don't want app suggestions, so turn them off. And I'll set up the home screen and the wallpapers and everything else later. To get into your app drawer, you haven't got an actual icon anymore to get into your app drawer. You just swipe up and it's arranged vertically, so it scrolls. Of course, there's not enough apps in there at the moment to do so. And we've got as well at the top of the page you'll have a most used apps selection, which will show up as you use the apps. You've got the Google Now service, and it's telling me that you use this location and you can't reach it at the moment. Not sure why. It's lost. No, it's not lost connection, so it's probably updating actually. Thinking about it, it's still updating. So I'll wait for it to finish doing that. And while that's doing that, I can quickly show you.
Hi, I'm your
long press the home button to get into the assistant. Or you can say, OK Google. OK Google.
Hi, I'm your Google Assistant.
And it takes you into the assistant.
I can help you find what you need and get things done. If you need help, just ask. What can you do?
What can you do?
How can I help?
What can you do? What can you do?
Here are some things to try. You can say things like, set a reminder, or remind me to buy milk. Just swipe to see more suggestions.
So you can get more suggestions as you go along. I was talking over the system at that particular time, that's why I had to repeat myself. OK Google, what are the opening times for the Designer Village, MacArthur Glen?
Here are the business hours for the Designer Village.
So you can just ask, OK Google, set an appointment 10 AM tomorrow, go to MacArthur Glen, Designer Village.
OK, do you want to save this?
Yes, save. And it's saved into the system now, so a lot like Cortana or Siri, and it actually learns from you as you go along, and the usability will increase as you go along and it interacts with you. So that's the basic setup. It's all complete, it's all ready. Let's give Google Now another try. It's trying, and it still can't connect at the moment. I'm not sure why. So that's the basic setup. The next video will be the full review. Until then, thank you for watching.